record this. Okay, does anyone else have their old bosses, old coworkers, or like people that you don't have anything to do with still stalking them years later? Because that's been a consistent problem for me, especially with like my OW caseworker who's a lesbian. She's a complete dyke, and I'm like telling her to fuck off. I'm not interested. And I told her the reason why I switched workers was because she was fucked up. Like, I would go into her office to talk to her about the OW payments, and she's like, oh, like, yeah, so do you want to go on a date with me? And I'm like, fuck off! Holy shit, the entire time she was implying that I was a sex worker, and I was like, yeah, I get that you're sexually attracted to me, but that doesn't make me a sex worker. And I've kept on telling her, like, no, I'm not interested, like, no, thank you, oh my god, like, please leave me alone. She didn't get it, so I ended up just switching workers altogether, and I'm like, I can't literally be near you. Like, no. She wouldn't stop harassing me. It's sexual harassment. And she didn't get it. She's like, it's okay to treat people of my race this way because she watches porn all day. Literally, like, she goes home and jerks off the porn, and she's like, yeah, that's how you're supposed to treat people of that race because they're just for sex. And I'm like, you're so stupid that I'm just literally gonna strangle you and gouge your eyes out if I could. But I can't, so I'm just gonna leave. But yeah, and now I get like my old school, like elementary school teachers stalking me. They want to keep tabs on me for some reason, as if we were friends to begin with. We were never close. Like, I just went there for my lessons, and I went there to go to school because it's legally required of me, and then I left. I don't need to be friends with my teachers. It's fucking weird and unhealthy. Also, there's a faggot who was like, sorry, the F word, who was like, oh yeah, you should be friends with your teachers. And I'm like, why are you telling me to ruin my life? It was because he was friends with the teachers and he thought it was normal. And I'm like, well, you suck dick for a living, so who gives a shit? Not literally. Maybe literally, I'm not sure. I found out he was an escort way later. I don't know if he does guys. But anyway. Yeah, so I was like, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. And also another problem that I've been encountering is that the cops keep on bringing stuff up that I have no clue what they're talking about until years later when I was like, yeah, I was talking about that with my friend when I was 8 years old. Why are you like trying to make fun of me for something I did when I was 8 years old, which is not even embarrassing? Like, we would be talking about an anime or something and be like, they're trying to make fun of me for liking anime or something. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking weird, dude. Yeah, they keep doing that shit and I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, I found out that like they actually fucked up at their job and their personal life at one point, and they just kind of like short-circuited because that's what happens to people who fuck up. And then they've been trying to like blame it on me since, and I'm like, you're retarded. These are like grown-ass 30s, 40s, 50-year-old adults doing this, and I'm like, ew. Just get out of my life. Like, I have nothing to do with you. They don't understand that. Like, they think that, like, oh, I did a bad thing, but, like, if I apologize and go to prison and come back out, like, everything will be fine. It's like it never happened. And I'm like, tell that to the people who've been in prison. I don't know if you've met them. Just, they're not normal afterwards. Like, they weren't really normal before, and then after, like, they just kind of... But, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is a problem? Just let me live my life. I'm not even doing anything bad. I'm not hurting anyone. And they're like, no, you are. And I'm like, you're the only person who's hurting anyone, and you're projecting that onto me, saying I'm hurting people when it's just you. You're hurting me. They're really stupid. I mean, by the time that they figured out they were actually being racist, it was already too late for them to be able to apologize or make amends for it. And the shelter staff are exactly the same. They believe the rumors and garbage that these homeless residents are telling them, and I'm like, do you understand that they're high? Literally every waking moment of their life, they are constantly high. Don't you think maybe take what they're saying with a grain of salt? Like, maybe they're not telling you the complete truth, and they're actually just telling you how they feel about the situation, not necessarily what exactly happened. And even if that did happen, since it didn't happen at the shelters, you have no jurisdiction over it. It's actually illegal for you to interfere in another person's life, since they have nothing to do with you or your job. It's not affecting you at all. You are just using that as an excuse to target an innocent person because you're a piece of shit. And you're a racist. That's it. That was the only reason you did any of those things. And if you can't even admit to that, then you're just a crazy person. Some white guy actually had the nerve to come and call me crazy because I said this guy's dog was barking at me for no fucking reason. And I was like, shut your dog up. Nothing's even happening. And he's like, oh, you're just a crazy person. And I'm like, it was weird because he's wrong about that, but he's right about the fact that that guy had a girlfriend who's crazy. And also, I think he was trying to tell me that Mia Khalifa was crazy because I was tweeting at her. I was actually, never mind, I was Instagramming her, not tweeting her. She blocked me or restricted my account for some reason, and I'm not really sure if like this has anything to do with anything, but I'm starting to wonder if any of them are porn stars that live in the homeless shelters. Some people have tried to tell me this, that some of them were actually legitimate sex workers, as in porn stars and strippers and all that kind of stuff, and they live in the shelters. And I'm like, what? How come they can't afford rent and stuff? And like apparently a lot of people aren't willing to rent to them. Or they don't make enough money from the stripping because it's not as glamorous and well-paying as they think it is. I'm like, wow, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, why would you get into something that doesn't pay you that much money and ruins your social life? I don't know. Some escorts make a lot of money. But those are like really obvious, and I don't know if they ever get caught and sent to prison. Because it's illegal. Well, I don't think they make that much money. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are either forced into it or they end up in it through like poor choices. They thought it would be something different kind of thing. Yeah. But anyway, that guy pissed me off, kind of. Not really. I mean, I'm trying to get angry about something. I'm tired. Yeah, I was wondering, why are people stalking me? And then every time I point out something fucked up someone else is doing, they're like calling me crazy, and I'm like, why are you saying that? Clearly they're the crazy ones. I don't know where because oh yeah, right, I already came to this conclusion, I forgot. They're actually enabling them. So like I've just realized those are enablers. So like those are people who don't want to help. They're not actively not helping because they don't like that person. That's the only reason. They don't like that person, that guy with the fucked up dog who's gonna get put down, whose dog's gonna get put down. He's not normal right in the head. But it seems like they're actually supporting him, but they're not. They're actually getting him to get his dog put down by saying those things. And dismissing my valid claims because they're saying, you know what, you shut up. We're gonna get his dog put down. Okay? And I'm like, you know what? You can't tell me my claims aren't valid. That's not okay. But anyway, that's basically what yeah. That's what that was. Yeah, yes, that guy. Something or the other. Not just him, other people in the city I've noticed, they're enablers. They don't want to help. So when it's like that kind of situation, they won't, even if someone says something, they'll just go against what that person's saying and then just to appease the other person so they can enable their bad behavior. And I was like, what? But it's affecting me. It's so annoying.